and all of a sudden the emotions start rising. Map your losses. Map the self-talk in your losses. Map the activity in your mind in those losses. Now he was trading outside of his plan, he started fading the market, and I've seen this happen so often, I just don't care anymore. I'm willing to risk my day. Why am I going to threaten future performance with a behavior that I know doesn't point in the right direction as a professional trader? Okay, today we're speaking about accelerated losses and why they occur and why they happen. Now, this is an example, and the main reason this occurs is first the human response for action, a bias for action. And that bias for action, when we have a plan that goes in the direction that we anticipated, that we never fully capitalized, something happens and a certain flight or flight response occurs. So I want to use an example of a trade that happened on the desk. This was a trade over an FOMC. And over the FOMC, so we look at these two axes. Okay, this is time over here, and this is your P&L. So the trade dropped over here. The trader was up a certain amount on the day. And as the trade dropped, he's asked himself his question, why in the T-note and the 5-year, the ladder is so thin? Now, it's before FOMC, so usually it is thin. And so what occurred at that moment, he realized that the contracts the previous contracts had actually expired, that he was on his workspace, and the ladder that he was staring at was the wrong ladder. So in that moment, when he discovered it was the wrong ladder, his plan had broken, because now all of a sudden, in that moment in time, he had to change over into the new ladders. And every second, it probably took him a minute to do the change across a couple of ladders. And in that minute, there's a lot of P&L that's being lost, especially with the leverage that he was exposing himself to. So by the time he executed the trade, significantly higher up on the bid when the bond started moving towards the upside, his actual P&L at that moment, so this is one of our very big senior traders, was up around 80,000. And so that was his actual P&L. Now, in that very moment, he knew what size he was going to deploy. So because he changed ladders and he was paying up at a higher price, he had a small amount of size. He was able to extract a small amount of the move. And immediately in his head, he thought he should have made 500K on that trade. Okay, it was a big opportunity on the FOMC. So you had this expectation differential between the 80K and 500K. What happens to the brain? What happens to the mind? What's being triggered? And so immediately what's being triggered is that, well, I have the actual P&L versus this deviation, and all of a sudden the emotions start rising. And this happens to many in a loss, and with all the traders on the desk, I'm always asking you, map your losses. Map the self-talk in your losses. Map the activity in your mind in those losses, because the scar tissue that develops over time, every time you leave a loss uncovered, it just accumulates, and you start reinforcing these habitual responses. So the market then started continuing towards the direction that I anticipated. And now that the market had stretched so far, I thought, well, let me make some extra money. Now he was trading outside of his plan. He started fading the market. And I've seen this happen so often, where a move that was in the direction that you anticipated, you don't get on the move. And there's so many permutations, right? You either don't get on the trade at all, or you get on the trade with limited size. And on both those instances, it triggers an emotional response. And that emotional response is a sabotage response that is outside your plan. And so in that instance, the market continued. He started fading the market. And once you're here at 80K versus 500K, you get to a point where all of a sudden he's only up half of the P&L. I just don't care anymore. I'm willing to risk my day. So the conviction trade is over, and it's now shifted to I don't care about how much I've made. I just want to, and you just start seeing I should have been at this 500K mark. And then what happens, it's what I call the accelerated loss, and it's what I call the psychological loss. That if he had just accepted this time, I had an error, I made a mistake, my conviction trade is gone, this is what I've made. This is my P&L for this conviction trade. All trades that follow, if they are of an inferior quality, why am I participating and willing to give my conviction trade, which I made 80K on that conviction trade, why am I willing to give away the P&L I made on my conviction trade, even though there's a difference between what I thought should have happened? Why am I willing to sacrifice this P&L on really low quality trades that I had no plan for? And I've now become highly reactive. Now when the market is moving fast, it's more suggestible. And when it's more suggestible, it triggers that bias for action from us. We start trading, we start clicking away, because as the market's moving more, we automatically assume there's opportunity here. But this opportunity is outside the scope of maybe the plans that we had for this opportunity set, if that makes sense. And so if you accumulate this over time, you tag it in your trading analytics, you'll start discovering how much P&L you're giving away on a monthly, yearly basis. The trade that you should have made money, or you should have had this certain size, and then afterwards, what it triggers. And I want everyone to be very aware, and if you can start mapping your accelerated losses, and sometimes your biggest losses happen in a moment of complete disorientation. Like, it literally takes 5 minutes where you've been patient all day, working all day, and that 5 minutes just snaps at you and you become disorientated in the market, especially when the market is providing that type of volatility. It's a little bit less so when it's less volatile, but even in less volatile conditions, you can this can happen. So, asking yourself, what is the checklist? So what is the mental self-talk of your journey along that P&L curve gradient? So if you can map afterwards and you look at your analytics afterwards, what is my mental self-talk? Because if you can isolate that, you become wiser to the awareness the next time around, and you can penetrate it. You can bring that to the surface level of your conscious, because it's normally embedded in the deep unconscious, that behavior. But by mapping it, journaling like what you guys are doing at this very moment now, pen to paper, is just some powerful kind of archaic primal communication tactic of how our brain learns. So, just writing, in the students chapter of Traders of Our Time, he solved himself through writing on A4 papers every single day, even when he was, sadomasochising himself. And so I think it's a great tactical learning technique. So map that self-talk. And most of that self-talk is where I should have been. Well, maybe interject with, well, where could I be later on if I overtrade now? I'll actually be in a much worse situation. And these conditions are generally the most dangerous mentally, because what happens is that what does that trigger into the next day, into the next session? That one little decision spasm that you've exposed yourself. What does that happen with, you have a good edge the very next day? But sometimes we narrow that future, and there could be a huge opportunity the next day, but now you've depleted all your reserves, or your emotional reserves, or your energetic reserves, or your risk capital reserves. And so I love to map it. So this is just an example. Big opportunity. I underperformed. There was an aggressive move. I mentally started counting my P&L loss. I started taking the opposite side. And I'm willing to risk the day as underachieved, and there's a 400K swing in this instance for this trader. But if you taking a step-by-step reverse engineering of that emotional reaction, you will become the wiser the next time. Because every single time you face that and you've wised up to that situation, you're going to tell yourself, why am I going to expose myself to this potential pain? Why am I going to threaten future performance with a behavior that I know doesn't point in the right direction as a professional trader? Because a lot of times we try to short circuit behavioral responses that we've been doing all our life, from childhood, from the playground, from these, and that's what the market does. It is telling you these are the responses you have in life. You need to bring awareness to this, and the trading is that just wonderful space, that reflection. And there's the only other thing I've had closest to that is free diving. When when you're going deeper and deeper in the water, and you understand that you're further away from the surface, and you start saying, well, am I going to drown? I'm feeling lighter breath. No, it's just your carbon dioxide levels are rising, not a depletion of oxygen. So you have this mammalian response, and then all of a sudden you start getting this mirror of all your fears. That's what the markets, do to you consistently. And so we never map these responses. Our ego tells us not to map these responses because we just like to ignore it. When we have a fight with another half, we don't reflect on ourselves. And so these just go unchecked within our society, within all our interactions, and within the market interactions. And then all it does is become rinse and repeat. Just repeat it over, repeat, and then we kind of feel, you know what this is? I need to learn a new strategy. I need to learn a new, I need to do more training. I need to more. The more training you need to do is on yourself, on your awareness in that moment. So how does a trader go from being positive 80K to minus 350K? Now, this is a senior trader. He rarely repeats these errors. Rarely. But even the best, it happens to. But he's been very good at that. He isolates that, this is a rare event, because for him, this was such a big opportunity. And normally the ones that you felt you really messed up on, that you foresaw, that you had the plan, are the ones that can, even if you safeguarded yourself, maybe there's residue effects the next morning trading session. Maybe you did stop there. But the next morning, you're still thinking about it. You come into the market, you trade a crappy opportunity, and what's happening, you're still thinking because you haven't resolved. Remember, burnout is a function of unresolved emotions. Burnout is a function of unresolved emotions. And so there are methods, we speak about this a lot in, the training workshops. And so I just want you guys all, as you take your career, on the desk here, is to be super aware of this emotional configuration.